Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about my top 10 financial decisions I've ever made in my life. These are not like the top 10 stocks I've ever bought or something like that. These are literally the top 10 financial decisions I've ever made in my life, and all key things that have gotten me to this point in my life, guys. And if any of these were not done, I don't know where I would be. Honestly, it could have changed things dramatically for the worse. So I'm going to share with you guys these top 10 best financial decisions I've ever made in my life. I hope you guys really enjoy it today. And before I even get into the video, I just want to say I didn't rank these as far as importance. So we'll start off at number 10, but it doesn't mean that, for instance, number 9 is any less important than number 4, or number 3 is like so much more important than number 8. Like, that doesn't mean that. I just ranked them basically kind of starting out in my financial life around age 18, 19, and decisions I made since then, that basically all the way down to the bottom one, which is going to be number 1, which is kind of the most recent one of all of them, guys. So I just wanted to cover that so you kind of know that just because one's ranked above another one, it doesn't mean it's more important and those kinds of things, guys. So I hope you enjoy this today. Leave this video a thumbs up if you do. Leave a comment if you have anything to say, and let's get into this. So number 10, the decision I made to run track was very important financially for me for 2 reasons. One, I ended up earning, my very first freshman year, I ended up earning a half scholarship. So that's a great financial decision in itself, that it was helping me pay for community college. That was a very good financial decision. Also, it gave me a lot of confidence. Basically, in high school, I was lacking still a lot of confidence because I gave my heart and soul into football, and I never became a good football player. I never did. I never really stood out the way I wanted to. I took up track, and I had a lot of success with that. And that helped me build confidence in me personally as a person, which helps a lot financially in life, because if you're someone that's super low on confidence, it's going to be very hard for you to have any financial success in your life. A lot of the people that earn the most amount of money, long term, those kinds of things, they have a lot of belief in themselves. They have a lot of confidence in themselves to make decisions, to go out there and step out there and do something in the world. People with low self-esteem, low confidence, it's very hard to. So track, between the half scholarship and between, building my confidence and building me up, it was an extremely key financial step in the whole thing, and I don't know if I would be where I'm at if I didn't do it. Honestly, I really don't. So huge, huge financial key. Number 9, deciding to go to community college. Like, when I got out of high school, I wasn't sure what I was exactly going to do, and I thought community college was a way. And by the way, I mainly wanted to go to community college because I wanted to run track. So that kind of pushed me that way, and I kind of was already thinking, like, I want to do business, something business related. And I learned a lot about accounting. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about psychology, and I learned a lot about investing by myself, which I studied a lot in the computer labs. I researched on their computers there at the computer labs, a ton of research, trying to read everything I could about investing. But I learned accounting, which is very key in my business decisions, right? Because you gotta know how to run an income statement balance sheet if you're gonna run your own business, as well as for investing. If you don't know how to read an income statement, how to decipher a gross margin from this, how to read a cash flow, a balance sheet, if you don't understand those things, it's going to be very hard for you to succeed as an investor out there. So that helped me immensely, learning about business. That speaks for itself. And in psychology, I took several psychology courses. And psychology is a really important thing, guys, like really important. Like, a lot of decisions I make today are sometimes actually psychology based. They are, like, they literally are. I mean, for instance, I'll give you an example from something from this channel I do. I get comments sometimes that people say, "Oh, I hate your thumbnails. Why do you always got to make such a silly face or stupid face," or whatever they want to say about my thumbnails, right? The reason I do that is for that exact reason, to get an emotion of some kind out of people, to, like, make a face, that attracts. When people see a face, one, it attracts them more. And then when they see a face and they see a consistent pattern, like I always hold up the whiteboard, it lets people know, it lets the people that actually watch this channel, consistently, when you see that, it's a financial education branded channel, because I'm the only one out there doing it and doing it consistently. And then on top of that, so it's like a branding thing. On top of that, I have thousands of people every day that come across this channel and they watch one video and they might never watch again. But if for some reason one of my videos shows up on their news feed and they recognize my face because they saw a video yesterday or last week they watched me, they might just click on it again. They might just click on again, watch a second video, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, you know what, I kind of like this, Jeremy. They watch a third video, they watch a fourth video, they subscribe, they binge watch old content, and they become a subscriber for years to come. So, and that's all based upon a psychology type decision. If I didn't use my face, if I didn't have consistency in the way I hold the whiteboard and those kinds of things, it would definitely hurt me. It definitely would hurt me, guys. So that's just kind of like a lot of great things I learned in college, you know, some great things. And, you know, sometimes I do sound I'm a little anti-college, but there's definitely some things you can learn out there at college that are definitely can be helpful. Unfortunately, like 70% of the stuff you can learn in college is not going to be helpful. So that's kind of where my negativity comes in, and then the price of it and all those kinds of things, guys. Number 8, the decision to start investing at age 19. Holy smokes, like that speaks for itself. When I started investing at age 19, so important because starting at that age, even though I wasn't like an expert on investing at that time, right? I'd only been looking into investing for a few months. I was still in the learning process. But starting then was key because it was 2009. We were in the Great Recession. So I got to experience all that, experience all those fluctuations in the stock market going up 5% one day, down 7% the next day. Like I got to experience all that. I got to experience, like, the more experience, the better, right? You know, I mean, you can only practice jump shots so far before you need to get in the game. You need to get in the game and see if you can really hit that jump shot in the game. So the more experience, the better. So starting at that age, so key. Like starting the earlier, the better. Even if you're not an expert, even if you don't know everything at that stage, it's much better to lose. If you do lose money for some reason, if you lose $50 at age 19, a lot better than losing that then than losing $500,000 at age 39 because, you know, you're just getting into it at that time, guys. So very key getting in at that age particularly. Number seven was applying for Quick Trip when I was 20 years old as an assistant manager. This was what really pushed me in financially in life. I went from a job where I was making at Walgreens, I was working part-time, like 20, 30 hours a week. I was making $9 and I think it was 10 cents an hour. I think it was $9.10 an hour to Quick Trip, where all of a sudden I was making $15, $16 an hour starting, and I was working 46 hours a week, and I was earning overtime, and I was getting bonuses, like a lot of stuff, guys. So that was a huge financial decision for me. Like that pushed me way up in the game because then I was starting to make way more money than pretty much all my peers were at that age. I mean, no one's making $40,000, $50,000 a year at age 20, age 21, those kind of ages, you know, that's a lot of money at that particular age. I mean, heck, the average US income is only around like 50,000, and that's like for 40, 50, 60-year-olds. Like if you can be doing that at 20, it's definitely a very good thing. So that was a huge financial decision there to apply for them and then give me a chance and all those kinds of things, guys. Very important. Number six, deciding to leave college after my sophomore year, so kind of going into junior year. I was kind of still taking some courses and those kinds of things, but deciding to leave was very important because it freed up a lot of time that then I could start looking more into investing. I could focus more on work and trying to rise the ranks and make more money. At that age, I felt like college was just taking money from me because I learned what I needed to learn. It had given me the tools I needed at that point. It gave me the hammer and the nails and the piece of lumber. Now it was time for me to go out and build the house. Like I didn't need to learn how to hit the nails anymore. Like I was done. Like I learned what I needed to learn. So deciding to drop out and saving that money, saving that time that would have been invested just learning stuff I've already learned, it was key. It was absolutely very, very important financial decision. So I'm so happy I made that, and so happy I focused on rising the work ranks and those kinds of things, and focused on work, focused on investing rather than still focusing on trying to get a degree that would go on a wall at that point, because that's all it would have been. I learned what I needed to learn at that point, guys. Everything else after that was on me at that point. Number 5, moving to Charlotte, North Carolina with my company. Very important financial decision that opened up my mind completely to a whole new market. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and that's where I lived my entire life. So I knew one segment of the United States. It was very important for me to go to another totally different place in the United States that's so far different. You know, Charlotte, North Carolina is not anything like Phoenix, Arizona. They're so dramatically different. Learn about different, ways people think, like different humans think on a different part of the country. Like learn about like different economics of why this state works versus another state. Like learn about why businesses out there market a certain way versus market a certain way in another place. Like all that stuff. And then it also helped me make more money at work, which helped me invest more money. A lot of keys, and also gave me more confidence. This was another big confidence builder. I could move clear across the country and make a success of myself. Like that's another very important thing, guys. Another thing that builds your self-esteem up. Number four. This is one that's particularly about some stocks I invest in. The decision to invest in Cabela's, Cirrus Logic, Monster Energy. Those are some of my biggest stock market gainers ever. They were huge investments of mine that went up dramatically over the course of time I held those. So those three, Cabela's comes to mind, Cirrus Logic, which by the way, Cabela's is an outdoor retailer. I benefited hugely because it was an underpriced retailer that was expanding, and then the gun surge happened. They sell guns there, and they were pretty much the biggest beneficiary of the gun surge, other than maybe gun manufacturers themselves. Then I had Cirrus Logic, who benefited from the iPhone. They're a semiconductor company that's in the iPhone, in the iPads, in the Macs. Benefited huge from that, and I benefited huge from Monster Energy, which was a little undervalued compared to how much growth it had ahead of itself. An energy drink company, which was the whole energy drink wave. So investing in those three companies, those are like the three main ones that come to mind that I made great sums of money on. And so very thankful I got involved with those, and those were great financial decisions. Number three, and you're going to say, no. Losing $75,000 on stocks in 2015. 2015 lost 75K in 2015. How could that even like remotely be a good financial decision? And by the way, that wasn't even like a financial decision. That's just something that ended up happening as a result of some decisions I made. Like, if I got a video on this channel that tells all about the story and whatnot. But basically what happened there was I got involved with margin trading, short-term trading, like stuff I'd never done, like stuff that it wasn't me, like stuff I started making decisions that weren't me, like it's not what got me to a great place in time. So losing that money that year, it got me off my ass. It really did. It got me off my ass and got me doing things in the world, because at that point I was content with just sitting at my desk making $40,000 a year trading stocks. But when you lose on that money, you're forced to, either go get a job, start businesses, and those kinds of things, which is what I ended up doing. So it got me off my ass and got me out there doing something in the world and making a lot more money than 40K, 50K, or 60K a year investing in stocks, sitting at my desk, not doing anything in the world. And that might be fine for some people. For me, it wasn't. And, it just led to some unhappiness and those kinds of things. So losing that money, it was a great thing in the long run, guys, a great thing. And I know it just sounds crazy because how could losing that much money be a great thing? It ended up benefiting me greatly. Number two, starting my real estate marketing company in it was super late 2015, like November, December 2015. I started my real estate marketing company. Great financial decision, got me out there. My first real success as a business, another big confidence builder, and just starting a company that could support a family. Like that's a cool thing. Like if you can start something from nothing and grow it to be actually be like able to pay for all the bills and stuff for your entire family, like that's a cool ass thing. So starting that, very good financial decision. I still have the business to this day. So very important, very one of the best financial decisions I ever made in my life. And number one, and I could argue that this might be the best financial decision, and we'll see as the years play out, this might be the best financial decision I ever made, was deciding to pick up this little GoPro I owned, put it on a tripod, and start recording videos of myself in January 2016. It's when I started this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is now my number one income source. I get ridiculous amounts of views, and it just builds every single month. I've launched a book because of this channel that's had great success because my viewers, value my information and whatnot. You guys value it, So another huge financial decision that one might benefit me more than anything on this list, honestly. But that number one thing, the picking up the GoPro in January 2016 and starting to record videos of myself, like that only worked out because of all the other decisions I made, because of all the experience I had in stocks, becoming like, I don't want to call myself a stock market expert, but I obviously, have 0.001% of the highest caliber of understanding of how the markets work, understanding stock market investing. Like I'm, up there with them. So that the channel doesn't work out if some of those other decisions are not made. If I don't have some of the financial success, if I don't gain 30 to 40% per year for a long time, if I don't have such a great experience that I can talk about subjects and make it sound interesting that happened years ago or last week or whatever, guys, like that whole thing doesn't work out if all the other steps don't work out. That's why I, at the important part in the video where I talk about in the beginning about one of these steps isn't more important than the other, because literally you could look at this step or that step, and if such and such, if step number 9 wasn't done, for instance, or this step, who knows if any of the steps that come after that work out, guys. So that's why it's very important to understand one's not important than the other. It's the chicken before the egg, or which one came first. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this today. Top 10 best financial decisions I ever made in my life by far, guys. They've all changed it. They're all important. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in that comment section if there's any big financial decisions that you've made in your life that you're so happy you've done now, and they're really starting to pay off and those kinds of things, guys. I would love to hear from you guys. Leave this video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it. And if you just came across this channel, you have not subscribed, you may want to. We talk personal finance. I'm an actual business owner. I give away so many business tips. We talk the stock market the most of anything. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.